healthy. So it's good we have.
The regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Lavallette for Monday, September 21st, 2020 will come to order. Please call the roll.
Councilman Borowski?
Here.
Councilman Lamb?
Here.
Council President Salem?
Here.
Councilman Stockdale?
Here.
Councilman Fincher?
Here.
Councilman Phillips?
Here. Please read the Open Public Meetings Act statement.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, this meeting has been closed to the public physically and is being live streamed via YouTube with comment period for the public. Notice of this remote meeting was posted on our website with instructions on how the public can connect to the meeting.
Thank you very much. This time I ask for a moment of silence. Thankfully, no locals have passed away. I guess we can mention Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg's passing and the controversy that that's about to bring upon the country. So we'll at least keep her in mind during the moment of silence, after which Councilman Stockdale will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. We are still being broadcast over the internet live stream. We got our audio sorted out this week, so the audio portion should be much better. Thank you, Matt, for taking care of that for us. Weather was a little cool. I think since Labor Day, you might think it's November already, but good weather's coming back. Seems like the town is emptied out pretty well. I'm not certain that there are a lot of people hanging around. I do see a few kids on the street in the daytime, which means that they're not in the schools that they belong, although our school is back to full-time. Spoke with Dr. Morris. It's optional whether you want to be there. We have 150 kids in the school. 10 have chosen the option of staying home. So very, very good turnout at the school. Things are working out very well over there. Okay, get right into the agenda then.
Yeah, I could say something. We have a nice short meeting planned here tonight, but there was a very long meeting that took place on September 17th, back in 1785. And we've been missing all these wonderful holidays and days that we should be recognizing. And this was in 1787. There were 13 states in this country, and they were not getting along at all. It was like this country was going to fall apart. And finally, 55 men got together, and they came up with a plan, new laws and new aims. It took them 4 months to come together for a plan for this new country. And that plan was called the Constitution. That plan was called the Constitution. So every September 17th, when it was signed, we celebrate Constitution Day. So I just want to remind everybody.
Thank you for
that
that
was a long
history.
meeting.
Absolutely. 4 months is a long one. We don't keep them there. All right. Excuse me.
Said it would have been shorter if they put women on
Yeah.
the
No.
That happened 100 years later.
That's a debate.
All right. Ending the controversy, I'll take this into the consent agenda. I'll read them by number. At the end, I'll ask for a motion and a roll call. Please feel free to comment on any of the items along the way. Number 217, approving the renewal of liquor license for Crab's Claw Inn for the year 2021. Number 218, approving the renewal of the liquor license for Cornerstone Wines and Liquors for the years 2021. 219, approving the renewal of the liquor license for Lavallette Liquors for the year 20 through 21. 220, refunding unused planning board escrow funds in the amount of $615. 221, granting a tax exemption for a totally disabled veteran for the property at 98 Bay Boulevard. 222, proclaiming the month of September 2020 as Hunger Action Month. 223, granting a tax exemption for a totally disabled veteran for the property at 107 Bond Avenue. And 223A, authorizing the approval of Ben Dupree as a lifeguard to the Beachfront Rescue Response Team for year 2020. He was advertently left off the initial roster last time we voted on that. Any comments on anything there?
I just want to make a comment on this. The September 2020 is Hunger Action Month. All the towns are doing this and the county's doing this. And this is mostly Fulfill, which is run by Kim Guadagno. And this town is on their agenda very much because we always had that triathlon here, and they had to have it viral, but they did raise the $2,000 and they donated to Fulfill, which is the subsidiary of Hunger Action Month. So I thank you all for this. This was given to me by the county. And I'm glad we're doing this.
And that rescue response team did go into service, even though it was tragic. We did lose a person on the beach, in the ocean. On McGee Avenue, one person was saved out of those two people. So
I think it was a good idea having them, and we're going to continue to have them until Mr. Price determines that they're no longer necessary.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much
There was
for
a
that.
Second instance a few days later when they were called as well.
No kidding.
So they didn't need to respond, so surfers, thankfully were there.
So the beach is pretty torn up right now due to the conditions of the surf
Yeah,
up there.
it's
So,
dangerous.
with these storms that have been brewing offshore, you really got to be smart and
Yeah.
not go in that water unless you really know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Thankfully, I checked the hurricane forecast and nothing new is rolling off the coast of Africa right now. So
With the NOAA and the, I believe the National Weather Service has issued a severe rip current for the East Coast, I believe from, I want to say Maryland on all the way up into Canada where Teddy is supposed to make landfall, dangerous rip currents for the next few days. So
our beach will be back.
Yes.
Rest
Yes.
assured.
And what was good, I think the sign on the highways are very good.
Yeah.
Reminding people that there's no guards on the beach. The beaches are unguarded. And also the census, which is good. People notice that. I think some people just haven't woken up to the fact. It's all over the place, the census, but on the highway, it's a good one. So thank Adam for
Christian.
for putting that on there. And thank Adam for all he does.
I will do that. All right, if there are no further discussions about the consent agenda.
Mayor, on
Oh,
217, 218, 219, I need to add something. Due to the time constraints when the online application was submitted in part, and because we have to have it approved by the 30th, a preliminary investigation was done on all three. A formal full investigation is pending, will be done by the 30th. Barring any problems, we will, according to George, approve it tonight.
Okay.
And then if there are any issues, we will bring them.
Okay,
Right.
very good.
And that question about 220, did you say 15 or 615?
$615.
Okay, but you said 15. Okay.
$615
Okay.
refund.
Okay, good.
All right, there are no further comments. I'll accept the motion on the consent agenda. And the roll call.
Councilman Borakis?
Yes.
Councilman Philpott?
Yes.
Council President Salem?
Yes.
Councilman Stockdale?
Yes.
Councilman Pinter?
yes,
Councilman Lang?
yes,
And that motion is approved. Resolutions off consent. Number 24 is the bills list, the amount of $528,022.65.
so moved,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borakis?
Yes.
Councilman Philpott?
Yes.
Council President Salem?
Yes.
Councilman Stockdale?
Abstain on 20-00785, yes to all others.
Councilman Pinter?
yes,
Councilman Lang?
yes,
And that motion is approved. Ordinance is on for introduction, first reading, ordinance number 2020-07. An ordinance of the Borough of Lavallette, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 89 of the Borough Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic so as to revise Section 89-26. This is to create a handicap parking space on the top of Newark Avenue, as requested by one of our local residents up there.
Are we still working on, I think Chief Grant was working on a couple more handicap parking places at the top of the street on President. He was working on 2. There's a couple of them. He's also working on the 2-hour parking. We can do something to make it easier next summer for some of our businesses.
Mayor, I understand that's on the south side of Newark Avenue.
That's my understanding.
Yes.
Okay, good.
There's no further discussion. I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borakis?
Yes.
Councilman Philpott?
Yes.
Council President Salem?
Yes.
Councilman Stockdale?
Yes.
Councilman Pinter?
yes,
Councilman Lang?
yes,
That motion is approved, and the public hearing and final adoption is scheduled for October 5th of 2020. That rapidly gets us to unfinished business. Mr. Bryce, any word on the dredging? Did they tell you when they're going to be coming back?
We have a meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Excellent.
I would share with you that we talked about the Clean Ocean Action. We have beach sweeps in October and in April every year. And they're worried about the October one. They want to have it. And I was on the Zoom meetings with them, and I spoke with the coordinator, and I spoke with Dave, who's the other co-captain. And it looks like we're going to be able to have it, but we're going to have 2 tables to sign up. They'll come up. And I think what they'll do is they'll sign something with a pencil and then put the paper. They're not going to sign on the same page. I'll have blanks. They'll sign it and put it in the basket. Sign, put it in the basket, so that they're not touching a pad as such. And also, we can't serve food, and Dunkin' Donuts usually gives us a lot of breakfast, coffee, donuts, bagels, everything. So I talked to Emilio, who's the manager down here of this Dunkin' Donuts, and he's going to give me $45 gift certificates. So when people come up, I'll just give them a gift certificate. They can go back and have their own breakfast at Dunkin' Donuts.
Not all together.
No, whenever they want, whenever they want.
6 feet apart.
Outside.
Around the corner.
Yeah,
Alright.
he said, and they've been very generous through the years, and they will continue to be, so thank you very much.
Good luck with the suite.
Yes.
Any other unfinished business? Mr. Bryce?
The pre-construction meeting for New York Avenue paving took place. We expect to start the first week or sooner of October. We don't want to end the month.
Very
It's
good.
going to include drainage work, curbing work, and paving the center block and the beach block.
Excellent. Very good. And then what's next, Bryn Mawr?
Yes.
I could also invite people to become members of the Friends of Lavalette Beautification. I set my membership in. It's only $15 per household, and it's a great thing. They do a lot of wonderful things for this town. They have made the town much more beautiful. There's applications on the table in the foyer downstairs if you want to pick one up and mail it in. And it's really great. And then one citizen came to me and said, he said, they make such a mess down there on President Avenue, all that pretty place. It was all it was all planted, and they had bushes there and flowers. He said, when they finally get that back together, he said, I will donate whatever beautification needs to beautify that area again. So that was, and I did call up Paparoni, and I told her, just be expecting to do that area and you'll get the donation.
What is the status with that bayfront section there, Mr. Bryce? Are they coming back in to finish up with cleaning it up?
The engineer spoke with the county. It's being redesigned.
Okay, they gotta tear it out again then, probably.
I don't know if they're gonna tear out that particular portion they put in. It may involve raising of the support, raising the curbing,
Elevation.
raising possibly part of the street and where the outlets are situated.
Okay.
They feed into the current apparatus they have on the base side. I don't know if that has to, I don't know if they put that copper in and all that extensive work out of the bay.
That all looks good.
Yeah, that
Okay.
should be-
They're elevating a couple of streets in Ortley Beach. They're elevating them and providing complete drainage. And I think that's what they're planning to do down there.
Very good.
Elevate it.
It's only a couple of years it's been like that.
But we do have someone that wants to beautify it, so it's
Very good.
beautification.
All right, anything else unfinished?
Now, just go back to that real quick, I did specify though that one of our terms would be displacement, that we're just transferring the problem from one area to
Right.
another one, with that.
I'm sure you'll stay on it for us. Thank you. And if there's no further unfinished,
Well, it's, I don't know if it's unfinished or what, but our senior shovelboard want to continue with shovelboard. They ran out of the salt and just gave Matt the word, and he's going to be getting some salt for them. Probably buy it in quantity so we can have it for next year also. So they're continuing. They love the shovelboard courts. And I also, this is a little ahead of time, I guess, for us, but since my daughter works over there, just to let you know, there's drop-off boxes for your ballots. And the drop-off box in Lavalette is going to be at the library. So look around the library, that area, there will be a drop-off box. If you want to not mail in your ballot, you want to drop off your ballot.
you can also drop them off at the polling places.
And you can drop them off at polling places.
You don't know if you can stamp, I have no
No.
guarantees that it's getting through.
You don't.
If you go to the post office and mail it, they will stamp it there.
It's probably safer in the drop boxes though,
Drop
than
boxes.
than through the postal service, having to bring them over. The drop boxes are part of the election board will
Yes.
be picking.
They'll be collecting.
They're gonna be collected at the polls also.
Yeah.
Right, so you won't have to go through the mail system where there's potential for some
I
issues.
believe that can
One less step.
they also be dropped off at the clerk's office?
Yes.
Yes, they
In
can.
person by that person,
Round and
County
safe.
clerk's office.
county clerk's office, yes.
Not this clerk.
Not-
Right. County clerk's office.
Mayor, I have one last.
Tom's River.
Oh, yes, Mr. Price.
I did have a call with Verizon, last week. They are preparing, to submit another application for the next, few months. So
For the 5G.
We should expect that.
Yes.
Was something was going on up on 35 South? Big boxes, three big boxes up high, was that 5G?
No, it's not 5G yet, it's still, actually, as we, found out, I think these nodes that they're putting in now are 4G.
4G.
Yeah, it is 4G stuff.
That's Jersey Central Harmon up there putting regulators in.
Regulators? Oh, okay, big stuff.
Keeps the electric current stable.
All right, so we'll expect an application and it'll have to go back to the planning board for review like the last one did. We'll see where it goes.
And I want to thank Dave for giving blood today. We have our stickers on still. They need blood very badly. In the beginning, they canceled a lot of the blood donation spots, but they had to start up because they really do need blood. So I want to thank Dave. Dave's always the first customer. Signs up first.
All right. On to new business then. Anybody have new business that they would like to discuss? Dave?
Our census, I checked today, as of 9/20, Loveland is still at 25.6.
Hmm.
New Jersey is 68.5.
Wow.
So,
Mr. Finter, do you think a reverse call would benefit this?
it couldn't hurt. It could not hurt. So,
All right, why don't you do a
They
reverse
did have
call?
somebody going around, because there's somebody, I was out on the deck, and somebody came down and asked me about various houses, somebody's living there year round.
They did the same thing over on my street.
Myers.
Yep.
And I rode around with them and I told them, summer. But they have a new system that they're doing off their phones and talking to a couple of people, it's not really efficient. So,
Mayor, I have another question about that. I think we should try to get a clarification. Is that 25% of the people or 25% of the households? Because 25% of the households is a lot better than
Right.
25%.
It's household.
It's household.
And when you look at it and you compare it to other short communities, we're there. Some of them much lower, some of them are around the same numbers. I think us and Seaside Park are very similar.
Right.
Mantaloking is much lower, Seaside Heights is much lower. So when you look at it, it is the household. So basically, when you do the math, it puts us up in the neighborhood of what our year-round population is.
Yeah,
If you go to 2.5 people per house, it kind of puts you there.
Yeah,
The percentage makes us look like we're doing a terrible job, and I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
yeah.
But if 75% of the housing stock is not
Occupied.
permanent residents that would, put their census data here, then we're 100% compliant.
Right.
It-
That's
Except this year is unique, and this is what we want to get through to people. It's where were you on April 1st?
Okay.
So that's where we have to get to people. As we know, there's a lot of people here April 1st, so.
Yeah, they might not be admitting that, though.
All right.
Yes,
The
Dave?
next thing, flu shots. Flu shots will not be given out in Lavallette this year. If you go on the website, there's 7 locations in Ocean County that they're giving them out with dates and times. So go on the Lavallette website, look under flu shots, and you'll find it there. And then last thing, don't forget to send in your ballots or deposit them in the drop box at the library or deposit them at the polls. So don't forget to vote.
Very important. Jim, anything?
You can just drop them off though, and you don't have to put your name in and drop them off, or you don't have to
No,
drop
just-
it.
As if it was going in the mailbox, totally sealed up and put in there, and just instead of a mailbox, it's going into a drop box.
And if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the drop box, bring it to the poll with you. We will take them and we have a,
A receipt?
well, we don't give you a receipt, but we put them and then
Okay.
we will deliver them to the Board of Elections at the end of the
Can
day.
you give us one of those little rip-off tickets that says? Just trying to make it a better
But I
system.
voted step here.
Yeah, they don't want to spend the money on it.
If you were,
Or fire?
Same as usual, both will be open.
No, just one.
Well, look,
The only,
I only have the, right now, the one
One
door.
pole firehouse,
Huh?
just one pole.
Oh, just one at the firehouse?
Yeah,
Okay.
one pole.
Same as the last
both
one.
districts.
Right,
Is that what happened in primary?
yes.
And there's probably, like in Orly, there's probably, they put 3 districts in there.
It's gotta be, it's still gonna be 50% of the polling place.
Of the districts,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, districts.
Just it's my understanding though, any of those ballots that are submitted at the poll on election day itself, it's probably gonna be a time lag before those are able to be counted. It's not like the machine where we could just tap it in and they get the response right away.
All of them are gonna
That's
need to be
true for all
sent
of
in and
them.
counted that
They
way.
all have to be.
They're not gonna open any of them
It's
before
against the
election
law,
day.
No.
New Jersey.
No, it's all going to the main location to be counted there.
Okay. The only other thing I have there is on Tuesday of next week, the Finance Committee, of which I'm a member for the Public Powers Association, is meeting. We're going to prepare the preliminary budgets for next year, and we anticipate voting on those at our annual meeting in October, which I will be at. So,
Good.
that's it.
Mrs. Philpott?
Just one thing, Mayor. Online, someone posted a picture of a very large open fire that was in some kind of a container, wood burning, with flames shooting up in the air. It appeared from the photo that I saw, it was a video, a little video, that it may have actually been on someone's deck. Open fires are against the law in the state of New Jersey. We also forbid them in our ordinance, but where we have it forbidden is in the wrong place, and it really needs to be adjusted, and we need to probably expound on our definition of fire pits and what's permitted and what's not. The New Jersey fire marshal regulations, there's no such thing as an open fire. You can't do it near a house. A fireplace or something like that, something enclosed or built in. There's all kinds of regulations as to where they can be placed, how big they can get, and also the kind of fuel that you use. So I'm very concerned because this thing that I saw online, and I happen to know where it was, but that's beside the point because I'm sure that's one of many. The flames are so high that we're going to have a fire here. It's out of control. The wind was blowing and these things are going 5 feet in the air with embers from the burning wood. They're not allowed to begin with, but people are I think, ill-informed. I don't think they know. I don't think it's a deliberate defiance of the rule. I don't think that they realize how strict the rules are.
I thought we had gotten a handout about what was allowed
gave it
and what
to you.
was not allowed.
I gave it to you.
Do you still have that?
It came from the township of Medford, and it's easy to get. It's online. I gave it to Mr. Breen, and then when we look through our own ordinances, it is mentioned, but it happens to be mentioned in the chapter that has to do with beaches, and it shouldn't be there. It should be in our
Disorderly conduct?
well, either
That's probably because we don't allow open fires on the beaches.
right, but it
Some
says
places do.
It says on public and we're private.
right. It does,
It
but.
covers.
But it shouldn't be there, because if you're looking for it, unless you're worried about the beach, you're not gonna go to that chapter to look for it.
Well, if you want to recommend a better place to put it, we'll be happy to entertain that.
Maybe Mr. George can tell us what's more appropriate, but
Okay.
you can take the state fire marshal regulations and just copy them. That's the rules. And UCC rules.
What is the Crabs Club doing with those big fires inside their?
They're propane.
What is it, propane?
Yeah.
And will they go up something?
Yeah, they're in a glass container. They're propane.
I
Okay,
just wondered.
all right. Anything else, Mrs. Philpott?
I think that's it.
Michael? Bob?
No, the-
Mr. Price?
All good.
Anita,
All good.
new
All
business? We're all good? All right. That takes us to comments from the public already. Mr. Price?
James Caruso, the sound is hard to understand, probably due to our terrible internet service. Please speak up into the microphone.
We'll try to take care of that for you. We're working on it. Hopefully, we'll be back to live
Yes.
relatively soon.
Pretty soon.
We'd love to invite you back.
Mm,
Come on down.
yes.
Please.
Somebody's phone.
We have 30 people on that.
But no comments.
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, why don't we move on to council comments, and we'll go back to public comments once you see a few of them. Dave, anything?
No, I have nothing.
Okay, Jim?
Mayor, I'm sorry I didn't mention this at the beginning of the meeting, but we lost a summer resident, sister of Elizabeth Garudo. Her name was Monica Jenny Paragoris. She lived on President Avenue, 59 years old. She was battling her battle for about 6 or 7 years, and she finally went to the beyond. So she's a beautiful person and a good soul, and I'd just like to keep her and the Garudo family in your prayers tonight.
Thank you. Mrs. Philpott?
No, I'm good.
Dave, did I ask you already?
You already asked.
Bob?
No.
Mike? Anita?
I
Council comments.
just have to say that welcome to the fall. Tomorrow is the first day of fall, and it's supposed to be a summer weekend though, so enjoy.
Yeah, back to 80 by Friday, I think.
Back to 80 by Friday. Yeah.
Mr. Price, any comments?
Hey, Mr. Caruso again, can the town get involved and make a call to the cable company regarding the internet?
We're already doing that, correct?
Yes, 2 weeks ago, in our last meeting, we did discuss that. I made the call to them. They are supposed to be increasing our capacity, our incoming and our outgoing capacity. They're supposed to complete that by this week. I haven't gotten any further correspondence from them indicating it's done or not. I'll follow up with them to see if it's done.
Very good.
Then I have Kay Rocco, the resident of 112 Westmont. I have a concern. I'm waiting to see what else comes. I believe her concern is also about the cable company, so again.
Well, we are well aware of it. Terrible service that we've been getting from Optimum, both telephone and TV and internet. So Mr. Bryce is on it, and we'll make sure that he stays on it and keeps us informed as to their progress in upgrading us.
That appears to be it.
Very good. If you have no further comments, Mr. Bryce, then I will accept the motion to adjourn.
So I have nothing. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Will.
Bye-bye.
Today, Mayor, you set a new